I actually got fired from my job where I launched this funnel because it performed too well. And what I mean by that is the contract that I had at that job was a performance-based contract. So I got one client for this business and I would get paid X amount. I tripled the output that they were getting from their current sales system. But that just goes to show how powerful this system is that I'm going to dive into. And I did actually continue working with this company afterwards and it actually doubled that result as well a few months after. And this funnel as well, I would say, is in kind of version 1. It's still being refined. There are still things I'm changing, but that said, I am still using this funnel to this day. So let's hop in. So there are 6 main steps to this funnel, and I'll break each one of them down. But at its simplest form, it's a Facebook ad, that's an A by the way, to landing page, to a lead magnet. Quickly realizing I'm running out of space here, so I'm just going to abbreviate stuff. Books them into a phone call, that is a phone, and then sale. Woohoo! So that's it. At face value, does not look very special at all. But it's what happened at each of these different stages and how effective they were at bringing a customer along to the next stage that made this seemingly simple system so effective. So this is specifically speaking for Facebook ads. If we're hopping in here first, what I'm about to say doesn't necessarily apply if you're looking at things like Google ads and you're doing like pay-per-click. But for the example of a Facebook ad, the creative, so whatever it is that the person is seeing on the ad is the most important part. Making that eye-catching, stopping people in their scroll is the most important thing, and this is what they're gonna see. I spoke to a guy who's been doing digital marketing much longer than myself. He does paid ads for a lot of big companies. I can't say specifically who, but him and Percy Pig are on a first name basis, I've heard. And yeah, he said himself the creative is the most important part. Everything else that comes underneath, obviously you need to make sure it's there, but the creative, that's what's stopping people. So you need to make sure that's good. Make sure it's neatly organized, make sure it shows your brand, make sure people can clearly see who it is, what you do, what you're offering, why it is they should click on your ad. And underneath that, of course, as well, your headline needs to be good too, because again, just naturally thinking through the steps of someone seeing your ad, they're gonna see your ad, they'll stop at the creative, and then your headline is your opportunity to further create intrigue and a desire for someone to want to click on your ad and see what it is that you're talking about. Now, what also worked really well in Facebook ad setup was the campaign structure, and most specifically, retargeting, but there's a surprising amount of people that I've worked with who have not had retargeting set up on their ads. And with this particular funnel, most of the sales that we got came from the retargeting ads. Now, organizing the whole structure of an ad campaign is a massive topic in and of itself. I can't really bullet point it too much right now, but make sure you're doing retargeting, make sure your messaging is different as well. You shouldn't be saying the same thing to those people. Again, that's not super specific, but let me know if you want to see a more in-depth video on how I structure my ads, and I guess specifically the structure I used in this funnel. And something very quickly I do want to mention as well, our best friend at the moment, not Al, AI. Now, AI is obviously immensely powerful. It's all the rave at the moment, and for good reason. And Meta is more and more bringing out AI and machine learning systems within their ad campaign setups. A lot of this can be good. So if I can remember correctly, there's advantage placements, creative enhancements, audience enhancements. I can't remember exactly the names of them off the top of my head, but those things can work really well. However, sometimes it can really screw up your ad campaign performances. So all these AI resources can be helpful. Sometimes letting go of that control of the things that you're changing within your ads and your campaign structures can be damaging, as you don't know what's performing well because it's just stuff that Facebook is churning out and you don't really get much data on that. So I'd recommend where possible, stay away from those things, certainly in beginner stages. And actually, as I say, I use some of these as well. They do have their use cases for sure. So going on next to our landing page, one of the biggest pieces of advice that I would give is to make sure that you are optimized for mobile. I'm sure if you dig into the data of your web visitors, I would hedge your bet to say at least 80% of them are coming from mobile. Again, we're using Facebook and Instagram ads here, so people are going to be on those apps on their phones. So when they click on your link from their phone, you need to make sure that everything is laid out in a way that is appropriate and optimized for mobile. And once they've landed on your landing page, you need to make sure it's clear what it is that you do, what it is that you're offering. And there are 3 key parts to this, I would say. So first of all is your headline. Once again, so what is the first big piece of text that people see once they click on your landing page? Does it grab their attention and create intrigue to want to scroll more and see more of what is going on your website? Number two, I would say, is social proof. So what I mean by that is videos, reviews, testimonials, things to show people that you're a legitimate business and the thing that they have clicked on your website for is tried and trusted, is well reviewed, it does the job. And last but certainly not least is a good CTA. So there should be an obvious next step for the people that are landing on your landing page. Is it that actually they just purchase whatever it is they've come for straight away? Do you want them to sign up for a call? Do you want them just to submit a lead form? Whatever it is, it should be obvious, and obvious in what it is and obvious in where it is on the website. They shouldn't have to find some tiny button to click through to the next part of your funnel. And where possible as well, I would make it personal, just a small change there that can make a lot of difference. Use words like, I want to know the next steps, book my free call. Calling out to your customers personally can help them in making that next step. So you all would have noticed this by now. I have only just clocked. There are 5 steps on this diagram. There's one missing here. Lead form. Now this might not apply directly to what it is that you're selling, but in the example of this funnel, we were directing people to fill in a lead form. And what was helpful with this lead form is it helps to pre-qualify a lot of our leads. As you can see, one of the next steps in this funnel is to make a call. And we wanted to make sure we weren't getting onto calls with customers that actually wouldn't want what it is that we have or weren't the right customer for what it was that we had. So within this lead form, there are a couple of things that they had to fill out to specify where they were, who they were, what their requirements were. And only if they fit a certain criteria were they able to move on to the next part of the funnel, which was the lead magnet. So the next step, the lead magnet, this is what we were enticing people with on the landing page. This was a free 30-minute video resource that we indicated was available upon submitting some details. And so within this free resource, we wanted to give value to our customers, or our leads rather, I should say. They've handed over their contact details to us and we want to make sure that we give them value. Most people are smart enough to know that if you've asked for an email, chances are you're probably going to reach out to them at some point. So are you making that transaction worthwhile for the customer? Lead, sorry, they're not customer yet. Make this part of the process valuable. You want it to have good enough value that the customers feel like they haven't been ripped off. But again, we want to continue creating intrigue. So within this next part of your process, within your lead magnet, you want to show your customers the wow, not the how, to steal a phrase coined, I believe, by John Pemberthy. So you want to wow your customers, you want to show them what is possible, but not necessarily give away the exact strategies on how to do that thing. So to use a generic fitness example, show them the 3-step process on how they can lose, I don't know, a stone in 90 days. Show them the simplicity of the process, but don't give away too much of the process, because again, chances are, or at least in the example of this funnel, you're hoping to carry them down the funnel to sell them the system or sell them the product. And a more specific example, perhaps you're a DJ and within this, you want to show people how it is that you, I have no idea what DJs do. I've committed to this example now, so I'm going to go with it. Perhaps it's that you're wanting to show people how easy it is to be a DJ or how to become a DJ. Maybe that's what you're trying to sell. So here you show the simple tools that you have been using in your journey as a DJ, give a bit of an insight into how you progressed and how you got better, but don't necessarily say the software that you use or the exercises that you use to get better. Show them that it's possible, show them that it can be simple, but don't necessarily show them how to do it. And then back to this example funnel, they were then prompted to book a call with one of the sales team, and then the hope was obviously that would result in a sale. Now within a call, obviously your sales techniques have got to be good. And that was one of the things that really helped in the effectiveness of this funnel. And as I alluded to earlier, after I helped triple the results, we then managed to double the results again a few months after. And one of the key factors of that was the effectiveness of the sales call. Within that doubling gap, the effectiveness of the phone calls went from about a 60% conversion rate up to about a 90% conversion rate. So it doesn't matter how many people you'll manage to get through the funnel and book that call with you, if your sales game isn't good, you're never going to get into this part. Now again, that's a whole topic in and of itself and nothing I can delve into right now, but certainly something that I'm happy to do in the future should people request it. I'd say take a screenshot of that, but I don't think that's going to make any sense to anyone tomorrow. If you enjoyed this video or got any value out of it at all, please do consider liking and subscribing to the channel. I'm going to have tons more videos like this coming out very soon. And if you want an even deeper dive into this funnel that I use to help my clients triple their results in less than 90 days, then click on the link in my bio.